Let's define racism. I have found that the definition of racism has been lost in recent years. Many people are being accused of being racist when they are not. On the other hand, many people are ignorant to the fact that they are racist. So first things first, Google it. Now I know what you're thinking. Google isn't reliable, but it's the most common way to get a definition, and it's what most people will say when bringing up a definition. So let's do it. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonization directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. There are a couple of words in this definition that a lot of people look over, those being antagonization, ethnic, and typically. Antagonization is defined by Google as active hostility or opposition. I take this as when facing other races, you tend to disagree with them. For example, responding to Black Lives Matter by saying all lives matter. We're not going to get into the ridiculousness of this claim, but that is what I have gotten out of it. Ethnic is defined by Google as relating to a population subgroup with a common national or cultural tradition. This is a response to those who say stuff like, Mexican isn't a race, so it's not racism. You just sound stupid. Lastly, typically is defined by Google as in most cases, usually. So it is saying that most of the time racism is experienced to those who are minorities. So yes, you can be racist to a white person. This is not implying that white people haven't gone through as much racism or as affected as much as other races. Alright, racism is essentially not liking someone because of their race, right? Yes, but it's not that simple because there are many other definitions. Now let's look at the most credible site known to man, Wikipedia. So right off the bat, Wikipedia states that racism shall not be confused with discrimination based on the skin color. Wow, okay. Wikipedia says racism is the belief that groups of humans possess different behavioral traits and corresponding to inherited attributes can be divided based on the superiority of one race over another. This I feel is a misguided definition. Well, for one, I would argue people of African descent have genetics that are more primed for sports. If you look at most major league sports in America, African Americans are dominant. We can look at the NFL and NBA. 70% of NFL players, 81% of NBA players are black. Why is this? Is it because African Americans are more interested in these sports? That is definitely a factor. However, I cannot say with certainty that 70% of NFL dreamers are black. That just sounds ridiculous. According to the channel B4 Flex, Africans have the most unique DNA. He states that every country in Africa has unique qualities to them and in return unique advantages. For more information, watch this video. It will be linked down below. So it is racist to say that Africans are genetically more capable than other races in general? Is this proof that all black people are better in sports? No. Does this negate the amazing athletic capabilities of these professionals just because they are more likely to have such abilities? No. Also, Wikipedia continues and states that it may also mean prejudice, discrimination, or antagonization directed against other people because they are a different race or ethnicity, effectively contradicting the previous statement. Let's look at one more definition, and this being a reputable source. Oxford Dictionary. I can already hear people bitch in the comments saying that Google uses Oxford, but they fail to realize that if you look at both definitions, they are different. So shut up. The unfair treatment of people who belong to a different race. Violent behavior towards them. This is relatively uncontroversial, right? Yes, but with this definition of racism, racism happens more regularly than previously thought. According to the New York Post, Harvard hands out recruitment letters to agents who score above 1350, but for other minorities, the cutoff is 1100. Is this racist? I am not going to answer for you, but I have given you proper context to form your own opinion. And there eludes my final point. Racism is too hard to define. With many different definitions to go by, who's to say what racism really is? My personal definition is the concept of perceiving a different race/ethnicity as inferior, or perceiving your own race/ethnicity as superior. I believe that is a fair take, but others disagree. So, what is your definition of the word?